Say it. Say it again.
Yeah. So as soon as you're ready to operate this truck and you open up this panel, the very first things I want you to look at before you turn anything on is I want you to verify that this is your dash, your remote is your remote control. And I want to make sure that you have this flipped not up to remote, but down at dash. Next, I want you to make sure that you've got your air compressor sitting at 100 PSI so that you're not trying to start this truck under too much of a load that just puts too much strain on the engine. As long as these two settings are set correctly like that, you're ready to operate this truck. So you'd walk over here and you'd turn on work mode. By turning on work mode, this is all now live. You have your hydraulic functions. Your hydraulic functions are your boom up, which gets you out of that cradle, or boom down. You have boom out and boom in. This boom is designed just like a backhoe, out and in. You have tank up to tip the tank and dump, and tank down, and then you have door open and door close to go ahead and dump the contents inside the tank. That covers all your levers right here. Once you've turned this truck on, your next thing that you would do is you would hit engine speed selection. Engine speed selection is going to take you up to the next RPM level, and that's max. If you were to hit it again, it would knock you right back down to where you started. So there's only one engine speed selection that you're going to use. And now you're at full RPMs. You're ready to vacuum with this truck. Now all you need to do is boom up, get the boom out of the cradle, swing it over to where you want it. And once it's in place with the tubes on it and you're ready to dig, now you can boom out, boom in, boom down, boom up, and you can use your functions. You're ready to turn on your blower and you're ready to vacuum. Turn on blower, you'll hear your blower start to ramp up. You'll see on this display screen what percentage your blower is at. Are you using 25% of your blower? You can keep hitting it and it'll go up to 50, 60, 75, 100% of blower. For sucking water, you probably aren't going to need anything more than 50% of your blower, but test it and find out. It'll keep the truck quieter for you to have to listen to. Right here is a vac relief. That vac relief means you got your head stuck on the end of the boom, and you need to go ahead and inject air closer to the blower in the truck. That will take the airflow away from the end of the hose. You hit vac relief, it opens a butterfly valve, air's coming in closer to the truck, taking and relieving you from the end of the hose. When you do that, a light will come on to tell you, hey, you've got that open, because this will lead to guys saying, I got no suction. Why? It doesn't do anything at the end of the hose. Well, your vac relief was open, so open and close. Boom, lock, and unlock. There's a motorcycle brake caliper up here on the top, and your boom is free spinning. You're going to manually move your boom where you want it. But if this truck was on an angle like this on the ground, and the nature of where you're working, what can happen is you start swinging that boom out and the boom will just slide and swing on its own. So if you're in an angle like that and you want the boom here, but it wants to just keep moving over, you can use lock and unlock, and it presses that caliper to hold that boom in place where you want it.
And that's on the remote too, right?
Yes, that's on the remote. And then lastly here, you have your water pump off and on. There's 150 gallons worth of water inside here. You fill it with a garden hose. Once you've got that full, if you need water, you turn on your water pump, turn off your water pump. If we come over here, this fatter hose, this is gonna be the hose that you're gonna use to hook up to your dig wand. And you'll know how not to make the mistake because the two connections are different. The gun won't fit with the smaller one. The smaller one is intended for your dig tools that you're going to use, such as a tamper or jackhammer. And the dig wand, you'll flip that compressor when it comes on and ramps up. You'll then raise your RPMs on the RPM side here. Engine speed selection, you'll raise the RPMs, and when they're raised, now you can kick this down to 250. And you'll be digging with the dig wand at 250. The 100 is only used for the hand tools. And then lastly, this one is your hydro excavation. This is your water wand. So if you're gonna fill the water pump and you're gonna wanna use water, this final one right here is your water. So digging with air, using your air tools, or using your water, that's what's happening between these three. Let's talk quickly about maintenance on the machine. There is a series of grease zerks that are all labeled right here on this passenger side rear of the tank, and there's a map diagram telling you what you're going to be greasing. The most important greasing that needs to take place on this truck are these rear door pins. So as we take a look at the rear door pins, the reason these pins are so important to grease is because when you open the tank to dump, you're gonna go ahead and dump your material past this and wipe away the grease. You're gonna wash off the back of the truck, you're gonna wash away your grease. And then what will happen is if this pin isn't greased, one on each side, when the hydraulic valve bank is told to open the rear door, it knows that it is supposed to go ahead and first disengage the pins, then open the door. When it's done dumping and the area is clean, you hit close door, it knows it's supposed to close the door and then engage the pins. What can happen is, if this is not being properly greased, maybe this door pin hangs up. Well, the valve block doesn't know that. All it knows is I've already disengaged the pins, that should have disengaged. Now it's time to open the door and it can kink the door. So making sure that you're keeping these greased is as simple as stepping right over to this passenger side rear of the tank and following the instructions listed on the grease zert map telling you to grease these. Otherwise, just put 2, 3, 4 pumps on your finger and just wipe it around in there to make sure that it's greased. All other grease on this truck, for the period of time you're going to have it, you'll hit it once or twice during the course of time you have it. But this one I want you to keep a close eye on so that you're not hanging up door pins and breaking them. That's it.